Dedicating time to retirement planning is energy well spent. And honestly, it's an activity that many of us can benefit from. If you want to retire, there's many mistakes you can sidestep with a little bit of planning up front. In this video, I'm going to show you how a little bit of planning can save you thousands of dollars or even give you thousands of dollars and offer you a better and more enjoyable retirement. Hi, I'm Nadia, one half of the Wealth Twins, and I retired over 10 years ago. So let's jump into it. Now, my first point is in response to a viewer's question asking me if there is a best time of the year to retire. And actually it is, but it's based on the individual. Knowing what's the best time for you to retire can actually have a huge impact on the taxes that you pay and on the retirement income that you actually receive. Let's say that you have a pension. You have to know how the pension benefits are calculated, because if you retire maybe 6 months before the pension is calculated to give you extra credit for the years or even a couple of days, you can lose a year's worth of benefits because you didn't know the proper time of the year to retire based on how your pension calculates your benefits. So the best thing for you to do in that situation is to call up HR or your pension fund and ask them, how are your benefits calculated? Is it calculated on how many days you work into the next year? Will you get an extra credit of service added to your benefits? Or do you have to work 6 months more or have to work until the end of the year? That is different for each individual. So it's best to ask that question up front when you're planning on retiring so you don't shortchange yourself out of a year's service when it only means a few days or a few months. Now, I know many of us do not have pensions, but looking back at it now, I probably could have made a better decision of what time of the year I retired, just based on the amount of vacation days I could have got paid out and the bonuses that were paid out. Sometimes you get a bonus number at the end of the year, but it's not paid out until the following year. So it's best to understand your individual circumstances so you understand what's the best time of the year for you to actually retire. It may be better for you to be patient and find out what the actual time frame you should set up for yourself in order to maximize your retirement benefits instead of fumbling it at the end and shortchanging yourself. Now, let's say you want to retire and you say, you know what, I can't do it with this job anymore. I'm fed up. I'm leaving right now. But you don't have enough savings in order to hold you over. So you have to start tapping your retirement accounts like your 401k or your IRAs. Now, the thing is, if you tap those accounts in the years that you earn income, that is going to look like income to you, and you may be pushed into a higher tax bracket because of the year that you earn income on top of withdrawing from those retirement accounts. So just be careful. If you're going to retire and you want to retire early, please try not to hit your retirement accounts in the same year. If you can hold off to the following year, that will be better for you. Or maybe not work the whole year or to the half of the year in the year that you plan on retiring. Either retire at the beginning of the year or at the end of the year so you cannot have that make an impact on your taxes. Give yourself time to find a new identity or rediscover an old one. Our identity is so wrapped up in what we do for a living, it is going to have a major impact on your life after retirement, and I can't overstate this. For instance, have you been to a party and one of the first questions a new person will ask you is, oh, what do you do for a living? Now, personally, I hate this question, so I'll say something silly like I'm a zoologist or a drug dealer. But for many people, this question will be difficult to answer once you retire, and it has a potential to give you a bit of an identity crisis. If you have worked at a firm for a long time or have had a career for a long time in the same profession, this will have a huge impact on the way you view yourself. The people you speak to on a daily basis will change, your routines will change, and this is a major adjustment that you have to prepare yourself for. My suggestion is to find a new identity before you retire so your identity is not wrapped up so much into what you do for a living, or rediscover a new identity. Now, what do I mean by this? For years, I did martial arts. And then when I was working a lot of hours, for 10, 15 years, I wasn't able to do martial arts. But now I picked up martial arts again, which I'm doing Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Probably not the best thing to pick up in your mid-40s, but it's given me the identity that I had before of being a martial artist. And it has replaced the identity that I had when I was working. I have a new purpose now, I have a new activity, I have new challenges, and I meet new people. I would advise discovering something that you think will be better than the identity that you had associated with your job. Use this time for you to find out what your new identity will be, because you can no longer associate yourself with a job, and this has a major mental impact on a lot of people. There are many things out there that you can start tying your identity to that do not require you being linked to a job. Another mistake you can avoid is underestimating how much you spend on a monthly basis. Now, when you retire, you're not going to have the same income that's coming out, or if you plan appropriately, you may have the same amount of income or more coming in. But for most of us, you will have less income on a monthly basis. So you need to understand what you're spending now on a monthly basis and not underestimating it. You may think that you're spending a lot less than you actually are, but in order to actually find out this number, you have to start tracking it. I suggest you start tracking it at least 6 months before you plan on retiring. That way you have a general understanding of how much you're spending on a monthly basis and where you can start cutting out things. Retirement involves a lot of compromises, but those compromises can be based on your priority. Maybe you don't want to downsize your house, but you're willing to give up an expensive car and cut down on those car payments. Maybe you're fine not traveling as much, and you say, you know what, I can cut down on my traveling, but I can put this money somewhere else. These are compromises that you can make, and these are trade-offs that you're going to make on a daily basis. But these trade-offs are based on your priority and will help you have a better retirement on your terms. If you don't do this before you retire, you may find yourself at a point of not having enough money to cover your monthly expenses and being forced to do this. You don't want to be forced to be put on a budget and living on a fixed income. You want the freedom to choose. So give yourself that freedom by doing it before you actually retire and reining it in and making the choices yourself before they're made for you. I want you to focus on paying down debt before you retire so that the money you're paying towards that debt can go towards you in your retirement years. Listen, you're going to have a lot of time in retirement. It has the potential to be a long phase in your life. So you want to be able to use the money you have responsibly and not send it to a credit card company or paying down debt. If you can do that before, the better. Now, speaking about money, I want you to develop another source of income before you retire. I don't want you to rely on just Social Security. Now, my generation, we were always told Social Security will not be around by the time we need it. So that stuck in my head. So I had made sure that I had other sources of income before I retired. Now, if you're in the generation that is fortunate enough to have Social Security, I don't want you to depend on it as your only source of income. If you look at it, on average, your check from Social Security is going to be about $1,700 a month, give or take, depending on what age you start taking payments, right? So if you look at Social Security being $1,700 a month, let's break that down by week. That's about $425 a week. If you're lucky, that may be able to cover your living expenses, but not much more. If possible, I want you to start developing other sources of income besides just relying on Social Security. Even if you are already getting Social Security, if you're over the age of 67, you can make as much income as you want because 67 is the full retirement age. You can make as much income as you want and it will not affect your Social Security benefits, okay? So if you're looking at additional sources of income, I will look at passive ones, like investing in dividend stocks or other securities in the stock market that have the potential to pay you if you want to sell them and bring money in for you to help supplement whatever you're getting from Social Security. Now, let's say you're not at full retirement age, which is 67, and you want to start collecting Social Security benefits. Well, you can still work and collect Social Security benefits at the same time, but you have to stay within certain guidelines. Now, I'm going to read this to make sure I have the guidelines correct. So, reading the guidelines from the Social Security website, it says this. If you're younger than full retirement age during all of 2023, we must deduct $1 from your benefits for each $2 you earn above $21,240. What that means is that you're able to make additional income working, like say part-time, up to $21,240. You'll still get the benefits that you're receiving now. But if you make over that, they're going to take $1 away of your benefits for every $2 you go over $21,240, okay? It also says, if you reach full retirement age in 2023, we must deduct $1 from your benefits for each $3 you earn above $56,520 until the month you reach full retirement age. Now, what that means is that if you are reaching full retirement age in the year of 2023, which is you're turning 67 in the year of 2023, you're able to make up to $56,520. And anything above that, every $3, they're going to take $1 away from your benefits. They will do that up to the month that you actually turn 67. After that, you can make as much as you want and your Social Security benefits will not be affected. I want you to avoid the mistake of not taking advantage of the catch-up rules if you're over 50 in the United States. You're able to add more money to your retirement accounts in order to catch up to give you more savings in your retirement accounts if you did not invest when you were younger or you have more time to invest. Now, this is beneficial because this gives you the ability to max out your retirement accounts and take advantage of tax savings if you have not done that in the past. Even if you've done it in the past, you can take advantage of these catch-up rules. If possible, please invest as much as you can into the retirement accounts that are available to you. That is your 401k or 403b, an IRA, HSA. These are all available to you. And if you don't know how to invest, don't worry. Nicole and I have a course that will help you do this, and we're holding your hand through this whole process so you're not left alone. And while we're speaking about retirement accounts, this is my next point. If you can hold off from withdrawing from your retirement accounts before the age of 59 and a half, please do. There's no reason to suffer the penalties associated with taking that money out too early, if you can avoid it. Avoid letting your health decline. Simple fixes now can make a big difference, especially as you're getting older. Sleeping more, making better choices when it comes to eating, and just staying active can give you huge benefits, especially in retirement. It's always better to maintain than to fix something that's broken. As you get older, we know that health is a bigger concern. If you focus on staying active and adopting healthy habits, this will allow you to have a more enjoyable retirement. Speaking about health insurance, if you plan on using Medicaid, you have to be able to apply in time. You don't automatically get Medicaid once you reach a certain age. So I'm going to put some links below so you can find out what those timelines are so you can apply for yourself if you need it. If you plan on getting Social Security, make sure you don't wait too long in order to get your benefits from Social Security. There's no point in waiting to claim your benefits after the age of 70. There will be no increase in the amount of benefits you will get from Social Security if you wait until after 70 to apply. You'll just have less time to collect Social Security payments. So again, I will put links in the description to give you more information about Social Security and when you should apply for it. If you can, I want you to avoid the trend that's currently happening now among baby boomers. A lot of baby boomers are buying large homes now and upgrading their homes. Now, there's no problem in renovating your home and making it more comfortable for you, but a lot of baby boomers are trading in their modest homes or the homes they currently have now and getting their dream homes when they're in retirement because they feel like they deserve it and they feel like this is something they earned. I don't know if this trend is something that's sustainable because as you get into your older years, you don't want to have to maintain a huge house or have a house with a lot of rooms that you're not going to use. I know you may have grandchildren coming over or you have family staying over, but that's a lot of space for you to maintain as you're getting older. So if you can avoid the trend of getting a larger house than you need and really getting your dream house when you retire, but instead upgrade the house you currently have now or buy a house that's a little more modest, but it's still nice, and it'll help put you in a better position when you retire. Don't feel like you have to retire because you reached the age of retirement or you feel like you deserve retirement if you feel like you're not financially stable. It's okay to work part-time a couple of years to make sure that you give yourself the best shot at a comfortable retirement. You can also use the money that you're earning from working those extra couple of years and putting it into your retirement accounts. Even if you leave a company that had a retirement plan for its employees, you can always keep contributing to your IRA as long as it's earned income. that earned income can grow and compound in the market for you, even if you're contributing to that IRA after the age of 65. Because 65 is still a young age and you still have a lot of years ahead of you. Just look at my aunt. She just got remarried last week and she's 65 years old. And you will see it's the start of a whole new life for her. And she has plenty of years ahead of her. So if you're still able to work, I would suggest keep earning a bit of income so you can contribute it to a retirement account so that those funds grow in the market and you can use those funds in the future if you're no longer able to work. And those funds will be able to help you pay for long-term care, which is really expensive, and also gives you a say in what you want to do in terms of care when you get older and not able to take care of yourself. This is something that we all need to address. It is not something you should avoid because I know it's not comfortable to think about, but it's something that has a high probability of happening. So if you could have some say in the matter and play a part in the decision what will happen with your care, that will be better for you and give you a more comfortable retirement, especially if you're single or have no children. Plan for retirement at least 10 years before you plan on actually retiring. Now, why do I say 10 years? I think 10 years gives you enough time to improve your financial situation drastically. You can go from not being in a financial position of being able to retire when you want to being in a very comfortable and very stable financial condition in less than 10 years, but let's give 10 years as a roundabout number. In 10 years, you can make a complete 180 in your finances and really set yourself up for a great retirement. 10 years also gives you a reasonable expectation of what you should be shooting for when it comes to retiring, especially if you want to retire early. I don't want you to think, oh, I want to retire and I can do this in a year. Let's be realistic. If you give yourself a 10-year time frame, there's a lot you can accomplish in those 10 years. And those 10 years that you're giving yourself in planning can make a world of difference when you actually retire. If you're looking to retire early or you're close to retiring and you know that you need to start investing and you're not comfortable or know where to start, check out wealthtwins.com. We have a lot of resources for you, and check out the description below because we do have courses. We also have a newsletter that we would love you to join called the Wealth Pack. In the Wealth Pack, we give financial tips and advice, and we give information to help you increase your wealth. And just like a pack, we make sure that no one's left behind. If you want to find out about money habits that help me retire early, check out this video right here. See you in the next video.